Good morning, everyone. Lovely to see you this morning. I didn't see you last weekend because it's been quite a busy few weeks, and I was at the Silver Needle seeing stitchers in person, which was such fun, and I will go into that a little bit more later. Like I said, it'll be a busy Flosstube because there's lots to cover. I had the Silver Needle last weekend. I have some personal stitching. I have 2 new releases to sneak peek, and we have puppy video at the end. So be a quick but packed 15 minutes. All right, jumping right in. First stitching in action, we have 3 this week. The first one is Saltwater Scrapbook from Sonia. She did the one of the panels with the squirrels and the ice cream for a friend of hers who loves squirrels and ice cream, so perfect fit. And since her friend likes blue, she changed out some of the greens for blues. I think it came out wonderfully. She trimmed it with Vanilla Eyelash Chenille from Lady Dot. I haven't used that before, but I asked her about it, and she said I think they had like 3 strands sort of twisted together and then tacked around the edge. So I think that came out very, very well. Thank you for sharing, Sonia. Next, we have 2 from Lisa S. The first one is Seasons of the Heart Spring from the Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher spring issue this year. And I love the way she used some of the green as cording trim around the edge. I think it really makes those spring greens pop in this one. The next one is a panel, or a little square, from the Greyhound Year calendar, also by Lisa S. She did this one as a birthday present for her brother-in-law, celebrating his birthday month because they had an Italian greyhound that they really loved. And so instead of the month name, she put the lovely dog's name, and just love it. Well done, Lisa. Thank you for sharing that. All right, on to what I'm stitching. I have a little bit of progress on Pandemic. Reaching here, because I was mostly getting ready for Tulsa, finishing up kits, preparing to talk, preparing to go. So I don't have a ton of progress, but I think it's coming along really well. Let me see if I can get it. Yeah, I'm really pleased with it. I'm enjoying every element that I do. I need to catch up on some border, but I've been having fun and doing some of the elements more than the borders. But I think during the week is when you really want to do border stitching, because you don't even have to get the chart out. You can just go on looking at what came before and keep repeating, which is nice, especially during the week. So wonderful, wonderful stitching. I'm enjoying that very much. I also took a little project with me to the Silver Needle to travel with, and that was Sew Sisters by Plum Street. So we've got a little cover there. I just pulled, you know, at the last minute for something to have on the plane. Colors on hand. I didn't have everything, and I was just drunk with power. I took it just and did plain stitching, really. I didn't stitch at all at the event because it's so busy, but it was nice to have something on the plane to just keep going, and certainly as I was preparing to soothe my spirit a little bit. So there's a tiny little start on Sew Sisters, and that is on 40 Count Old Sheep by xJudesigns. Let's see. All right. Now, quickly stash. Do you ever do that thing where you realize that you are in a particular color mood? I was in a particular color mood, and I think it kicked off with these 2. These are pieces of Osnaburg fabric from Lady Dot Creates. They're showing a little bit yellow because there's a lamp here. It's actually quite smoky here today and this whole weekend, so got a little extra light happening in here. I've got to photograph models later, and I'm hoping I'll have enough light to get that done. But anyway, this Osnaburg fabric is lovely. I had used it for the first time for some of the models for the Silver Needle, and just as an alternative to velveteen that you can iron very well. So for finishes where you might want to be a little bit more finicky about having things ironed, it's a fun option. And oh, these beautiful smoky purple gray colors. Well, little did I know, I picked up fabric at the Silver Needle, and I had an order from Kitten Stitcher come in while I was gone. And apparently that was my whole color mood, was smoky purples and grays, a beautiful piece of teal. This is Lyrebird Dell from Fox and Rabbit. So yeah, I can see where some of this is going to be heading. So that'll be really fun to work on. The other piece of Stash Spotlight I have is actually from a chart that I've had for a while. I got this particular chart when I was living in Dallas at a Tudor Sampler Guild sort of stash sale and old things that I believe it was out of print then. So I picked up this one, and I love it. But the chart is one of those where it's a giant piece of paper and it's folded, and so I keep thinking I should start that, but not doing it because I didn't want to get the folded piece out and make the copies and mark what are the overlaps and all of that, so I just kept putting it off. But then when I was at the Silver Needle, they had a model because that's their thing, and they had the chart, looks like re-released, with printed pages and not the giant folds. So let's see if I can get a better copy of that one. It's a beautiful model and it inspired me. So maybe as soon as I finish Pandemic, maybe that will be the next start that goes up. So I'm looking forward to that quite a bit. Speaking of stash, this is sort of a crossover between what I'm stitching and stash. One of the reasons I didn't take Pandemic to Tulsa is because it's big and I didn't necessarily want to travel with it. The other reason is that I have it all packed up in my current projects box, and for people who are curious, this is what I use. So I get these from xJudesigns, and I'll put all the info in the notes here. They're great. She makes them and sends them to you. They were pretty quick from Russia. I've got this particular one set up to take a lot of bobbins, and I've got two actually of these boxes, one that has my scissors and my little stretchy things, and then one underneath that has a pencil and a nail file. I've got a little orts jar here with a spot to drop my scissors in when I'm stitching, and I keep it covered up so that Rye doesn't steal my bobbins. But I've got a couple of these for things that are in progress, and I love them. I love working with them at home, but I wouldn't necessarily take them on the road. So that's the other stash highlight. All right, now, as for the world around, since I was in Oklahoma, I wanted to go ahead and feature an Oklahoma animal, and that is the southern flying squirrel. So we've got a picture in there. I was reading up on them a little bit. I've never seen one in person, just the pictures. But my son loved the Scaredy Squirrel books when he was young. And so I don't know if any of you have read those to your kids. They're a lot of fun. Of course, the flying squirrels don't actually fly, they glide, but some people believe that they use a version of math, triangulating with different viewpoints the distance to where they're trying to go, and they can change direction while they're flying by changing the position of their legs, their body, their head, their tail, all of that. So very cool. I would love to see one for real someday, although they're nocturnal, so I don't know if they're easy to spot. All right, questions. I have a question for you this week, and that is, would you like to see things that are released at retreats that aren't generally available? I'm just curious, do you want to see all the whole kit with all the supplies and everything, or do you not want to see that until it comes out and you can buy it at your local shop? So let me know what you think. I'm curious. I'm not showing the Silver Needle stuff until I hear back from you. So you decide what happens, and if you want to see it next week, I will show those as well. All right, now on to the Silver Needle. That actually reminds me, I didn't do a great job taking pictures when I was at Stitcher's Paradise. So this time I was determined to take some pictures, and I did. I've got a little video that I'll put in a few minutes, but I just wanted to do a quick recount of the Silver Needle. For those of you who haven't been there before, it's a shop in Tulsa. It's a wonderful shop, and one of their things is that they put lots of models in the shop, so it's very inspiring because you can just walk around and drown in all the beautiful models, and wonderful, wonderful experience there. The retreat was lovely. It was just so much fun. I got to meet so many people, and everyone was just great, generous and sweet. Some people brought gifts for everyone, which was so thoughtful, and I just couldn't have asked for a better experience. I hope everyone who attended had a wonderful time, because I know I did, and I very much appreciate going there. I was telling people that, you know, when it comes to the next retreat I do, they've set a pretty high bar. It'll be hard for me to find better attendees, or, you know, just as good an experience as that was. So thank you, everyone who encouraged me to take that frightening step, and thank you everyone who was there. And like I said, I hope you had a wonderful time. It's a great shop with a lovely, lovely staff who worked very hard to give everyone a good experience. And with that said, I'm going to take a little break here and insert a quick shop video so those of you who haven't been there can get an idea of what we're talking about. All right, now the giveaway from last week was obviously very popular. That's the most comments I've ever had. To remind everyone, it was this wonderful project bag kit from Lindy Stitches with the Saltwater Scrapbook. The bag made by 805 Stitcher and beautiful as always with a little octopus thing. And both of the Saltwater Scrapbook pieces, the overdyed threads and the pineapple candy. So the code word was pineapple, and thanks to all of you for the last 3 weeks. I have had the SpongeBob song in my head every day. I have been craving fresh pineapple and pineapple upside down cake and pineapple smoothies and everything pineapple. So if I eat nothing but pineapple for the next few months, you'll know why. Anyway, the winner of this one, without further ado, is Sharon's Crafty Creations, who is going to go through a move, it sounds like. Congratulations, Sarah. I hope you don't get too distracted stitching Saltwater Scrapbook. And I actually saw someone at the retreat with this bag, and we were chatting about how wonderful it is and what a great job both Steph and 805 Stitcher did on this one. So congratulations to Sharon's Crafty Creations. Get in touch, let me know your address, and I will send this to you. All right, so for this week, I am going to be showing you 2 new releases. These are going to be coming out at the Online Needlework Expo at the end of August. There are 2 more new releases and a freebie, but the other 2 are on their way back from Tulsa for models, so I'll show them in the next Flosstube. This time, I'm going to show you these 2, and the giveaway for this week will be for 2 people to pick any of the new releases that they want before they even come out. So the code word, secret code word this time is joy. Put joy in the comments and then let me know, and if you want to wait and see what's available next time as well, that's fine. Without further ado, all right, the first one, hence the joy, is called Gather with Joy. There's a little focus there. This actually started out in my design notebook as a band sampler, and you can see the elements of the circle bands here. It was originally going to be circle bands and then the house in the middle, and the bands sort of loosened and became, you know, twining flowers and autumn flowers, autumn acorns, autumn berries, things like that. We've got a little basket here with 2 apples and my take on a Queensland blue pumpkin because they're such a gorgeous color. And for this house in the center, I actually used for the first time variegated DMC. So, well, the model stitcher did, and she did a great job. But yeah, that was kind of fun. This is a very small one. It's on 40 count Affogato by Fiber on a Whim. And so that will be available at the Needlework Expo online at the end of August. And shops will be getting information for pre-orders in probably a week or so. The other one that I wanted to show is a new language of flowers, and this one was inspired by poppies, which in the language of flowers represent dreams and dreaming, and I think dreams and hope kind of tie together and are something that we have needed and certainly continue to need lately. So here we go. It's a very Art Nouveau style design here, and it's finished with, let's see, blue corn velveteen on the back and robin egg chenille from Lady Dot. See the back there. But I think that came out really well. I got a new model stitcher stitching up that one. He did a great job, and yeah, just very, very dreamy feeling to me. So winners of the giveaway, use the word joy. I'll pick 2 of you, and you can pick either one of these or really anything else of mine that you want. And there will be 2 new ones to be shown at the next Flosstube. Okay, that's my announcements and giveaway and stash and everything. So all that's left is the puppy video. Rye continues to grow into an adult and sleep her life away more and more, which is nice. She's been left alone for the first time, which is a big step. And yeah, we're all enjoying having a little bit more freedom to, she's enjoying more freedom to move around the house. We're enjoying more freedom to not be keeping one eye on her all the time. And so I think we're on the way to a proper long-term dog and human relationship. So thank you so much for joining me. It's lovely to see you. I missed you all last weekend, but I had a wonderful time, and I hope you have a lovely weekend as well with no wildfire smoke where you are, ideally. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.